Hello, everyone, and welcome back to DD Radio. It's been a while. It's been just over a month. This is the Manly Stanley Stanpai, and tonight I am joined by
Okay.
and
Logan.
that's right. So the DD Radio crew is back. We're still here. We are still kicking it, and we've got a cool show ahead. I hope. Just talking about a few different things. But before I get into that, Kay, how you doing, man?
I'm alright, man. Just, came down with the flu recently. Fucked up my back. Yep, doing good.
all right. So everything's wrong with Kay.
Yep.
Logan, how you doing, man?
Great start to the year.
I'm doing pretty good. I was actually the original trend.
Oh no.
Kay picked it up after me. Yeah, I had that a week ago.
So it
but,
cut out
I'm
for a
better
second.
now.
It cut out for a second, but yes,
Yeah.
he was the flu trendsetter, is what he said. So, so you passed it on, huh? You passed. You carried his his.
I passed on my meme.
I was gonna say.
Literally.
I was gonna say,
Dude. Literally, as soon as Zia gets back to me at the gym, like as soon as we worked out together, the next day I'm like, fuck, I can't go to the gym anymore. I caught the flu.
Yo, man, Kira was right about using the same weights as other people at the gym. Oh,
my
cool.
God.
So we're off to a fantastic start. I'm having fun. I'm really glad to be doing this again with you guys. I've definitely missed you.
I know, man. It's been a while.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, too long.
So moving forward, we're going to get right into the show. We've got some interesting topics today, particularly the second part of the episode I'm very much looking forward to, but we'll tell you about that when we get there. First, we're going to talk about the current location of this video. So for those of you who are watching and you've never seen or heard DD Radio before, this is because this show used to be run on my previous channel, which was my personal YouTube channel for a very long time. What we have now is something completely different. It is on the Manly Stanley Stanpai channel. It is the podcast of the channel. And we're just sort of moving everything over here, as this is where I'm putting my focus on video side. But I also wanted to bring DD Radio with me because, as these guys can attest, this is important to me, and I know it's important to them. And so we bring it over. And so with that said, I guess we're going to talk a little bit about the new channel for those of you who are previous listeners, or those of you who are just listening for the first time. Just a brief rundown of what is DD Radio. So would either of you like to take this question real quick in about 2 sentences, summarize what DD Radio is?
2 sentences. Oh, I was about to say 2 words. I was gonna say fucking awesome, man.
You can put a period after each word. That would count as 2 sentences, right?
All right. Fucking period. Awesome. Period.
All right. So Logan, in your words, how would you define DD Radio?
So to be a little more descriptive than Kay, it's a few good friends, kind of just shooting the shit, talking about stuff we love.
That's pretty much it. So, yeah, I mean, that's DD Radio in a nutshell. It's the 3 of us. We've been friends for a while. We enjoy sitting down and having conversations in person, online, whatever it may be. And this is a chance for us to share those conversations with everyone else. So with that said, thank you for those of you who are new listeners. For those of you who've listened before, very much appreciative to have you here. But let's get into it. So the new channel, I think, is the first subject on our docket tonight, since it is kind of like a big leap for me personally. It's been a really huge step. Basically, I decided that as the new year came across, I wanted to take content creation more seriously, and I wanted to get really developing a YouTube presence. I always used to upload random videos, but now I'm sort of going for a more consistent schedule of having content for my viewers and really pushing the envelope for myself as a quality production value, things like that, making sure I can do everything I can. So with that said, I've had a pretty big variety of different kinds of shows already, rather than having a lot of the same content. I think you guys have noticed this. I got a really big shotgun tactic here of what kind of content I've uploaded.
Dude, you just been recording a whole bunch of things, which is like awesome, and just like, here you go. I have something for everyone. It's just like you're just shotgunning it out, like bam.
So
Big bang.
Yeah, so where we go, Vegeta? So with that said, what are some of the things you guys have seen that like you personally like that I put on the channel? Because I mean I can talk about each of my videos, but I'd rather hear what you guys personally like so far.
I especially since the panels and Hallmat dub that hentai that you do and stuff. I love whenever you do your own videos where you dub the characters, and so I love that stuff. I also love like your impressions on like the current state of video games and like whatever like your impressions are on those, because like I agree with most of them. Like
Thanks,
the whole was a Nintendo Switch press conference, like your impressions on each and every single, like you go really in depth on Nintendo Switch, which is great.
Thanks, man. So yeah, that's definitely those videos end up being like very long, like they're like 20 minutes long, and it's like, man, is anybody gonna listen to this? But at the same time, it's like, oh well, I haven't. I made like it was a one sentence recap where people said it wasn't one sentence, but in fact it was a single sentence with a lot of commas and semicolons. So yeah,
a long run-on sentence.
That's all it was, man. It was an endless runner of a sentence. So you can put it on a mobile.
Well, I mean, you gotta expect the video to be long. It was like a 2-hour press conference.
Yeah, it was at least an hour. So yeah, I had to make sure. I didn't want to leave anything out, and so I like covering those kind of events with videos, and I expect E3 will be very busy for me this year.
Ooh.
Yeah, sweats. How about you, Logan? What's something that you've seen on the channel that's kind of been like, hey, that's pretty good?
So, kind of like Kay, I like the video game news recaps a lot. I actually liked your Let's Play too. I didn't watch the whole thing because I ended up getting interested in the game and I didn't really want it to get spoiled.
Sure.
So I didn't see the whole thing. I actually liked the fact that you didn't take up too much time talking, because for me, I know a lot of it is like showcasing the game. Like that's why I would go to a Let's Play. So that was really nice and refreshing. It was like it was more about the game than about the commentary.
Well, thank you. That's exactly what I was going for. I've found that some people have found that it was a little too quiet for their tastes, but for me, I considered the medium to be what was most important. It was the game itself, and I did not want to both be disrespectful to the content, but also not be overbearing, because that's the very same reason I dislike a lot of Let's Plays, is I don't want somebody constantly yammering with like a quick meme or whatever. I'd rather see the game for what it is, and especially with something that was so atmospheric. I will say that Eve is now one of my favorite games, and if you've not seen the Let's Play, I will say this to everyone. Episode 3 is really where it takes off, and, Logan, you're not the only one who has stopped halfway through to start playing the game itself because of the same reasons. Friends like Lawrence, Lance, and Jonathan as well. Shoutouts to both of you who both told me you went and downloaded Eve right away before finishing the Let's Play, which I think is great for the game itself, just because it's getting it in more people's hands, and that's kind of the whole reason I wanted to do it as well, because for me, it's more important. Again, the game is the real pull. Yes, my commentary makes it fun and unique for me, but I'm doing it for the game. I want to showcase the game, and I want to be respectful. And so really, the biggest impact I had on the game itself, I would say, was like doing dialogue out loud. And obviously my voice range is whatever it is, and I've got tons of different videos, like my karaoke videos even, where I'm singing as characters. But dubbing like the characters that appeared in the game, was even some of them that are horrible sounding to my ears after I listened to it. I just had a lot of fun doing it like that, and I think games with a lot of character dialogue that is without a voice actor is going to be a lot of fun for me in the future. So yeah, that's my winded explanation. The Eve videos are probably like some of my lowest turnout as far as viewership goes, and I think it's because those first couple videos are very slow, but for those of you who haven't checked it out, I definitely say episode 3 is where Eve picks up. So thanks, guys. I'm glad to hear that my gaming videos especially are stuff you like, and I've heard a lot of positives about those as well. Thanks.
Also,
go ahead.
You gotta get on that Gachimuchi, man.
Oh man. So yeah, for those of you who have or have not, I have the only reaction videos. I'm not a fan of reaction videos because I honestly don't think that they're good content. Like, I think that they are honestly like stolen content in a way. But the reason I did that is because for those of you who know me and know how much I like the Gachimuchi subculture, you'd understand why I wanted to record my reactions to it, because more than anything else, I wanted to see how it would make me feel. And it's kind of embarrassing. Like, after seeing how I reacted at certain points, it's like, I'm laughing now because it's so embarrassing to see, like, wow, this guy's actually moved to tears by this editing. Like, and I'm thankful that people who worked on that project have accepted my video and said, like, you know, they actually appreciate it. So that made it worth it for me even more so. So thank you to all of, once again, everybody who's on the International Wrestling Festival team for Make Spanking Great Again. You guys are awesome. I've really enjoyed getting to know you all after that. What a tremendous project. Really looking forward to next year. So yeah, I will make an announcement for, so something that you mentioned very first was the comic dubs. I am happy to announce that next week I am releasing the next comic dub for the channel. It is another JoJo dub by the same artist. As for what it is, you'll have to wait and see, but I like it. I'm looking forward to sharing it, and I mean, really that is my most successful video on the channel, is the Whole Horse Boingo dub. So I'm looking forward to seeing what people think of this one as well. So yeah, thanks for listening to this shilling segment of the channel. Since, like, why are we here? What's with this new channel? That's pretty much all I have to say about it for now. If you don't already subscribe, feel free to go ahead and subscribe. But if you guys have any closing remarks you'd like to share, feel free to go ahead. Otherwise, we can just carry on into the next segment.
How can we reach your channel, man?
Oh, man, that's a great question. Just type in themanlystanley.com, and that's it. That's all you need to do. Obviously, if you're listening to this on YouTube, then very clearly you are already on the YouTube page for this channel. So if you just type in themanlystanley.com, that's the subscription link. You can go ahead and follow that, and it redirects you. So yeah, themanlystanley.com. Cool. So
Can we find you on any social media?
Boy, great thing that you asked. You could find me at The Manly Stanley, which is like everything. Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, whatever it may be. Even Facebook, my page is there. It's facebook.com/The Manly Stanley. So yeah, branding, what's up? So yes, that's my universal handle. With that said, I think it's a quick plug if you guys want to throw out your handles too.
Oh, I don't use Twitter, man. I only have Facebook. I'm too old for this shit.
Don't even bother following me on Twitter. I don't use it.
All right, groovy. So moving forward, we're going to get into things that we actually do use, and this is the segment where we talk about what we've been playing. So we just rolled into a new year. It's the start of 2017. We're at the end of the first month, and let's talk about what games we've been playing. So I'd say let's mix it up this time. Logan, why don't you go first? What game do you want to talk about that you've been playing recently?
So the only thing I've been playing recently is Final Fantasy 15, so I guess I'll go with it.
All right, so you just cut out. So Final Fantasy 15.
Oh, so yeah, I've been playing Final Fantasy 15, and I mean, I gotta say, it's surprisingly good. I didn't have high hopes after 13 and that trilogy, but Final Fantasy 15 has been a lot of fun. Slow start, it's got its problems, but overall, it's good. I recommend it.
Awesome. All right, Kay, what about you? What are you playing?
I've been playing Final Fantasy 15.
So we got Final Fantasy 15. We got a party forming. so Kay,
Well,
what's your
you know,
take?
they did talk about multiplayer eventually down the line, so that'd be pretty fun to play. I mean, I wish it was from the get-go you could do multiplayer in the game, but
Road trip.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Push a car together? Yeah, let's go fishing together. Yeah.
So I mean, what's your take?
It's fun. It's different. It's like a very different Final Fantasy. It's more like, I guess, Kingdom Hearts actiony.
Okay, I was gonna ask if that's what it feels like.
But then, like, I feel like story-wise, it's got a good story, like, set up, but it's also, like, missing a lot of stuff from the story. And I get they're doing the DLC thing where it's going to explain majority of it, but it feels like they don't really go all in depth into the story and just kind of tell you anything about it. I feel like there's not, like, a dire purpose for you to finish that game, like, you know?
I get you. So it kind of fails to deliver on the inciting incidents that would motivate you.
Yeah.
So is it? And I've heard this. A lot of people mention the side questing is like what it's all about.
Literally, yeah. I mean, like, I got to the point where I don't want to spoil it or anything, like where you can't return back to a certain area. So it's like, you only have like a few chances to return back to the previous town, and I just been doing side quests before I finish the story. So I just been like doing side quests until I feel like, all right, I'm kind of done with the side quests. And I'll continue on to finishing the story, which feels very unfinished.
I see. Logan, is that your take as well? I mean, I know you've been fairly busy, so I don't know how much time you've actually had to play.
So actually, when I had the flu that weekend of, I played a lot of Final Fantasy 15. I mean, like once I started feeling better, it was just like, oh, why not? So I mean, I'm right there with Kay that the story does feel lacking. I think there's a problem where it's like it almost feels like things kind of just happen, and you're kind of it's like the world building is lacking.
Yeah.
There's a good plot there. Well, pretty good
Fleshed
plot.
out. Like I
Yeah,
feel.
it's not fleshed out, and things just kind of move quickly. It almost feels like you're jumping from like set piece to set piece at times in the story, at least. And as far as the side questing goes, like that is a pretty big draw, I guess, but there's not a whole lot of substance to it. It's like MMO-ish in that it's go here, do that, and come back with like basically just like boring sorts of fetch quests or hunt this quest.
Okay.
And
The
then,
hunt quest, yeah. I mean, the
yeah,
thing I hate with the hunt quest is like you can't take on multiple hunt quests. You have to can only take one at a time, and it's just
Yeah.
like, come on, man, for real. Now I gotta drive 10 minutes to this location to pick up a hunt quest from there and return it. I mean, I can return it from any town, but let me take on multiple quests.
yeah, especially when you have to go to specific towns for specific quests, and the driving takes forever. So it's like,
I see.
And then like with like I said, the story wise, it's not fleshed out. So it's like they'll introduce characters, and it's like, am I supposed to hate the character? Why do I hate? Am I supposed to hate the character? Like, give me some story about the character they should just
Gotcha.
introduce.
yeah.
It's like they don't really flesh out like a bunch of the plot points or in the characters in the game.
So, with what I'm hearing, does it seem like this game is more happening to the protagonists and everybody? It's just happening around them rather than they are the insiders and the people doing things. It's just sort of happening and they're there.
No, I mean like you're playing the main guy. Like,
Okay.
it's not like where it's Final Fantasy 12, I believe, where it's you're kind of just like on the sideline
Okay.
viewing a story. No, you're the story, but like you don't get any of the story.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, I think my problem with it, at least in the story, it almost feels like you're too important. Like the characters, I mean, like
Okay.
they're like they're like super special in this world, and I mean I get that and all, but I don't know. It's just like I'm kind of over that whole chosen one story type
Okay.
of deal.
And no, and the funny thing with that, like you say that, Zia, it's like you're this important person and you have this important task, but then it's like, hey, I'm just gonna fucking camp out here and go fishing.
Yeah. No, that's
Like, you don't feel like the story is that important.
that's
like,
a classic dilemma.
you get
It's
what
like
I'm
a
saying?
Zelda.
It's like, hey, I'm super important. I gotta do all this shit, but you know what? I'm just gonna hunt monsters for this one fucking diner because I have no money.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a shit about the story quest right now. I'm gonna just do these side quests.
Sure. No, I mean, but again, like I just mentioned, that's like a common theme in Zelda as well. It's like, I gotta go defeat Ganon, but I gotta catch this bug.
Yeah.
Let me break every pot in this room.
Heck!
let me walk into everyone's house and wreck their stuff.
They've all got insurance. It's okay.
Well, now Breath of the Wild is gonna be all open world-ish.
Sure,
and,
sure, yeah.
Skyrim-y and all that stuff, I guess.
It's kind of funny because Skyward Sword released alongside Skyrim. They were within certain months of each other, and I find it funny that there is a parallel now as they close the gap. I think it's research, you know?
My thing with Zelda was that it should have went into that direction, but like I guess it got stuck by their console
Okay.
with the controls and everything.
Sure,
so
the
it's not like
limitations.
yeah, the limitations of the console. So it's like they couldn't make it as open world-ish, and
Well, at least this time they can. So,
yeah.
in other news, Final Fantasy 15. So, I mean, but you guys both like it? Are you happy you're playing it? I mean, you're still playing it, so.
I mean, it's fun. I'm not gonna say it's not fun. like it's just there's certain things that are just lacking from it, and it's just like okay, I guess they'll fix it with DLC, but yeah, you guys had 10 years to make this game. Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean overall I'm happy playing it. It's nice that Final Fantasy is back to not sucking. I
Right.
still don't- I still don't think it's back at that golden age of like 4 to 9, but it's good.
Right on. So with that, I guess I'll chime in with my game I've
Yep.
been playing. So if anybody's watched the videos on my channel, the most recent upload at the time of this recording is my Yakuza 0 first impressions. And my schedule during the week is honestly insanely busy. I somehow managed to record videos and edit them within my crazy schedule. But with that said, I'm happy to say that I've found some time tonight as well as the night I actually went ahead and made the video. But Yakuza 0 has been very fun so far. I'm really enjoying it. So, general premise, I gave my first impressions video. If you want to find out what the game's about, go ahead and watch that. I give a very quick summary. But aside from that, just the experience, what I want to really bring out, and I may do a review of this game at some point, I'm not really sure, but the thing that I just now am experiencing is that I have to go do a mission, and I'm in Kamurocho, which is the open world area, and this game has little nooks and crannies everywhere. There are tons, same as with Final Fantasy 15, you're describing the importance of the side quests. There are so many subquests going on inside of Yakuza 0, and honestly, they're tremendously like enjoyable. They're little branching paths of just quirky events happening around you, and you know, Kiryu gets involved, and once I get Majima, it's going to be the same way. But I'm really enjoying the overall environment and culture of Yakuza 0, as I said during that video, and I'm enjoying the way that they threw me into this world, and they're telling me, okay, go find this thing, and they didn't give me map markers. They just said go, and I had to walk around Kamurocho, which is incredibly useful because doing so forced me to stumble across side quests. So, how does one balance the struggle between having side quests and having a main quest, and how do you keep them in balance? You just make the player have to find the main quest, which means they stumble across the side quest. So, some people would probably hate this because they want their hand held, but the whole the mission I'm doing is go find out information, and that means I have to stalk around the city until I find people talking about the thing and following like a series of events, having to deduce what they're talking about to finally stumble across the right zone to unlock the next scene. And I'm really enjoying that because, again, I mean, I get to go inside of the arcades when I'm like, oh, look, a Sega arcade. And I go in and I can play Space Harrier or whatever. I can, go and do the crane machines. I could go do disco or karaoke. Like, it's awesome. I love these things. I love these detours. It feels fun, and it's like, hey, I know this is a Yakuza drama, but go ahead and play some arcade games real quick. Go ahead and do some disco boogieing. It's just, I love that. And so I'm really enjoying Yakuza 0. I feel that because it is so Japanese in itself, I enjoy it even more because it doesn't feel like it's been watered down or changed for our audience too much. Some minor dialogue things that you'll see that aren't 100% what you're hearing if you understand what they're saying. They might be word for word, but I mean, overall it seems very intact, and I love that. Little things like even, I'm in this gritty area, and what do I stumble across? A random collectible item. In GTA, it's like hidden packages and this and that. In Yakuza, it's, oh, I found the calling card for for an escort girl. It's in my book now. Like, it's like a collectible item that you don't call it, but I have her picture and her name. Like, it's kind of funny. So I'm really enjoying it. And it's got like its own life lessons. Like this guy is a Yakuza, but you could definitely get the impression of why people who find Yakuza to be endearing and a good part of Japanese culture. It's like, I'm Yakuza, but let me help out this civilian. It's just like, yeah, Kiryu, despite being a hard ass, is also like this kind-hearted guy who will help some kid because his video game got stolen, and then the guy who stole it from him had it stolen from him, who had it stolen from him. And it's just kind of like these kind of like quirky scenarios. I just really love Yakuza 0. It's got everything quirky going on about it. The gameplay is not 100% perfect. I mentioned some slight clunkiness, and that's still a little bit there. Not really like in a way that's bothersome, but the same thing you guys said about, I've got this incredibly important thing. I must find the man who framed me. Okay, so let's go fishing. you know? So, it's like that, and I'm loving it. So that's, Yakuza 0 is what I'm playing. I'm excited to keep playing it. I was playing it before we started recording. So, yeah, that's, and I'm only just dipping my toes in. It's awesome.
One thing I find funny though is like with these open world games, they always usually have like fishing in it.
Yeah.
And actually do enjoy like the fishing aspect of these games. Like Zelda, I used to love the fishing. I used to love
I'll say all
like,
the
I love
Japanese games put fishing in.
yeah, yeah.
Grand Theft
Like I
Auto
love
has
the
no
fishing
fishing.
in
Yeah.
I love fishing in Final Fantasy 15 and
Mhm.
it's fun. It's like the only thing I recommend in Final Fantasy 15 is to turn like the character voices off when you're fishing.
Oh, are they irritating?
They will fucking talk nonstop while you're fishing. It's like shut
Change the
fuck
line.
up. Yeah, change the line. It's like, are we
Maybe
gonna
you
be
should
out
give
here
me
all
a
day?
go at that.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's like every like 5 seconds someone has something to say, and it's like shut the fuck up. I'm here to fucking fish.
Very
Oh
cool.
my god.
Man, yeah, a lot of Yakuza, I mean, it's Kiryu by himself, so you come across different things, and there's, honestly, I like even the subtle writing of certain sequences as they're unfolding. I'm not going to go into details. I really am appreciating the humor of this series. A friend of
I've
mine,
always wanted to get into it.
Yeah.
The Yakuza. We need to pick them up for the PS3, like the games that came out on that.
my friend that Homestar, he's an awesome dude who is the biggest ambassador for Yakuza that I could ever find in America. There's nobody who's a bigger ambassador. He's written guides to how to start the series, so shout outs to him. His words have always been true, and I've always been waiting for the right time to jump into the franchise. And Yakuza 0 being a prequel, as I mentioned in my video, gives me a reason to feel like I can do so, because I didn't want to start with Yakuza 3, which is the one we have here. It was on the PS3. It was actually a PS Plus game that I got a while back. I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to start 3 games in, and same with the following games. So having Yakuza 0 is like, oh yes, perfect. So yeah, that's the way to do it. I'm pretty hype. Yakuza 0 is I give it a great impression, as I've only played it a handful of more hours, but little things like the system UI is like still a little clunky, but it's got the quirk, man, and you could walk down an alleyway and find a tiny little bar, like a tiny little bar, which is a thing I've heard about from Japan. Like, they have little tiny bars that you can just like be walking down an alleyway, and this one little, like, this one venue exists. It can hold like maybe 6 people. It's literally like a hole in a wall style kind of establishment, but it has religiously supportive customers. It's just kind of like that,
Dude, there's a Netflix episode show about that. I think it's a Tokyo Midnight Diner.
And that's exactly what that's about.
The premise is pretty much that. Like it's like a hole in the wall diner.
There you go. So yeah, like Yakuza has those little pieces of culture, and it's also set in the '80s, the late '80s. So that's also kind of cool. My mom, I showed her like, "Hey, mom, this is the game I'm playing." She's like, "Well, with what you just described, that sounds more like Times Square before they made it pretty." You know, like so. And I was like, "Yeah, this is Tokyo before it was made pretty." You know, so. Yeah, this is awesome. So yeah, that's my take. That's what I've been playing lately. Yakuza 0. Definitely check it out if it's something that sounds like it's up your alley. But yeah, so with that said, I think that sums up our first half of this episode. And when we move on to the next segment, it's something that is pioneered and really run by none other than Logan Zia, our local philosopher, as it would. And this segment is titled Brolosophy. So stay tuned and check out the next half of the episode of DD Radio, and you'll hear our first ever discussion of Brolosophy.